What's going on, Pokemon trainers? Welcome to episode 81 of Gotta Watch 'Em All, the podcast that brings together trainers from every corner of Pokemon fandom to watch along with an episode of Pokemon the series, starting all the way back at episode 1. But today we're going to be watching episode 81, Pokéball Peril. Today is Thursday, January 9th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Ken Pescatore, joined by my co-host, Adam Tuttle. Adam, what's going on? How are you?
Not too much. We had an eventful morning with the Direct and all.
This is a good day.
It was a great day.
Fire. No, and I love the timing of it. 9:30 a.m. here on the East Coast. There was a Pokemon Direct, and we are going to dig into it today. Did you watch it live?
I caught the tail end of it. I was on my way to work, so it was kind of hard to watch that and drive.
Yeah, I was able to watch it live, and it was great. I think that they did a fantastic job with putting a lot of news in there, and we're going to completely break it down A to Z before doing our audio watch along with Pokemon the series episode 81, Pokéball Peril. But let's talk about this Direct, man. This was a big deal, and again, today is January 9th, 2020, so that's the date of the Direct. Coming from Nintendo.com, there was a million places that were hosting it, so you could watch this thing everywhere. I watched it directly on Nintendo.com through their Direct link, no pun intended, but it's awesome. It started out typically, whenever there's a Pokemon Direct, you'll see Ishihara, and he'll kind of introduce and kind of set the tone and expectation. This one was no different, and it starts with Ishihara saying that during the Direct, they really want to cover two things, and the first is this. And, I don't know if this is like a Japanese trope, but they always do this thing where they're like, and here we go. And they hold their hands out like if they had a top hat and a cane, like, la la la, you know what I mean? It's like the weirdest thing, but they're like, here, we're going to introduce this. Here it is, tell us what you think. And it's a really cool throwback to 2006, says it on the screen. And they throw back to the days of Game Boy Advance and the DS when Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, this was Red and Blue, the Rescue Team games, came out. And what they're doing is they're combining the stories from both of those games, those experiences, and creating a Switch version of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon called Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, coming out March 6th, 2020. Adam, did you play Mystery Dungeon back in the day?
I did.
I didn't.
Blue.
Oh, okay, good. So tell me about it. Did you this was a complete departure from what you're used to, because you're a human that kind of takes the body of a Pokemon, right?
Yeah. And I know I definitely finished it too. But then when they came up with the second one, I was less intrigued.
So there's I know this game is the whole spin-off franchise of Mystery Dungeon in general is completely hot and cold. There's people that can't stand it, and there's people that swear by it. So I love the art style of what this one for the Switch is kind of going for, and I'm looking forward to playing this. I think this is going to be a nice little palate cleanse to give you a way to kind of depart from Sword and Shield, but still stay in the Pokemon franchise. It's the perfect thing, the perfect bridge to what else they have coming up, which we're going to get to in just a second. But like I said, they're combining both of the older games into the new package. Pre-orders are live now, and the other cool thing they did was they have a demo that was available in real time at the time of the Direct. So they're like, hey, and the demo's available now.
And your save data.
Progress.
Yeah. Continue on if you buy the physical copy, or the game in general.
Right. So that's awesome, because I don't know how far they'll let you get, but I mean, if you can get through a full tutorial and put 2 or 3 hours into the demo, something like that, or even an hour or two, those are some crucial hours that you're not going to want to redo when you get that game and you already know the mechanics and you got to go through the tutorial again. So that's nice that it'll carry over. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks exciting. The art style looks fantastic.
I dig the art style.
I'm down to get the demo. I haven't actually downloaded it yet. I kind of jumped into my Shield version to get a special Pokemon, which we'll get to.
Good.
But
all right.
That's where my mind is at.
Wow, focused. That's good. That's good because I know that you didn't get too much of over the holiday. You were working so much you didn't get a chance to play and get your deli bird fixed. But I'll hear what you played today. But it then shifts gears to the second thing, and I guess the mystery dungeon announcement probably took up 5 minutes of the 20-minute presentation. Maybe even 4 minutes. I should have looked at it, but
it wasn't very long. It was almost like they were just like, here's this, and now for the actual news.
Yeah, exactly. And this came completely out of left field. Now, Nintendo is typically good at this. Pokemon is really good at this. But what they announced was, in the too long didn't read, is an upcoming Sword and Shield expansion pack through DLC, via DLC.
Yeah, they were talking how normally in the past they've done like, rehashes of the games like Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, or Platinum, or Emerald, or Sapphire, instead of like the actual like main 2 games, like that third game that would come out. That's what they announced basically, and they're giving us 2 separate downloadable content additions to the game to increase our enjoyment and our play.
But the thing is, they usually give us at least 6 months time between the original launch of the game and when they would announce, like, the part 2, the quote unquote, enhanced edition or whatever, the Ultra Sun to the Sun, But this is coming just a couple months after release of the game. Remember, November 15th is when this game came out, and they're doing it via DLC. Now, what I was saying Nintendo is really good at and Pokemon is really good at, this is the first time Pokemon has done DLC. DLC has been around forever, it seems. For the longest time, Xbox One, games were having add-ons via DLC. This is the first time Pokemon is doing it, and for whatever reason, it feels like a brand new thing. It's like, just because it's so new to Pokemon, it's like people are like wowed and baffled and like, wow, this is amazing. It's like, guys, don't forget, this is just DLC. We've had DLC for so long, but just because it's DLC for Pokemon, it seems and feels so different. And that's that magic. All right, so they cut to Masuda and Ohmori, who've definitely become a little bit more of the press face of Game Freak and representing the games and actually getting out there and talking about the games more so than Nintendo or even Treehouse or anything like that. Like, they're really doing a good job with PR. And they, right out of the gate, what they say is, we're not releasing another game like you were saying, Adam, so you're going to be using your existing save file. So this isn't something that's separate. It's not something where if you had Ultra Sun and you had Sun and you had Pokemon in both games and you wanted to, get those Pokemon together, you'd have to do some, Pokemon bank moving and shifting around or something like that. This is going to be the same file. So you're just carrying it over and continuing your game, which is cool. I'm sure they'll have some kind of transport system that'll get us to these new areas, but this is how it's going to work. There's 2 expansions. There's 2 stories per game. Right? So you got Sword, you got Shield, and you have this expansion pack pass that they're calling the expansion pass, which is going to grant you access to, it's $30, $29.99. It'll grant you access to 2 separate DLC packs, one coming out in June 2020, that's called the Isle of Armor, and one coming out in the fall of 2020 called the Crown Tundra. So just to recap where we're at so far, we just had the new year, right? In March, we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. In June, we have Isle of Armor. And in the fall, we have Crown Tundra. So Pokemon already has a complete roadmap to the year as far as video games proper. A spin-off game and main series games with content that's going to be coming out over the whole year.
Yeah, and they said
awesome.
That this is just like a taste of what they've been working on. So what does that mean? We're going to have more in the future. I can see that.
Well, what I hope is that the games when they release, the generations when they release, will become more of a platform where there's going to be things that can be added to the games via updates, via, expansions, via DLC, where you don't have to go through these different iterations of the games. You're just adding on to your existing game. And that's what makes DLC so awesome. Like, with games like Halo that I used to play, they would have 5, 6 expansion packs over the years. And, they would release like, the Game of the Year edition or something like that has all the DLC packs. But over time with all the DLC, it would amass this very, very rich, robust experience that was, 3, 4, 5 times the size of what came at launch. And that's what I'm excited about, because I could see that they're going to be doing this where they're really going to just be able to continue to expand on Galar and continue. Now, what they did was in the Direct, they gave us, it was awesome. They did this a little bit with when they first announced the Galar region, where it almost seems like a tourist video where they're really showing off the region and showing off what's going on. They cut over to the director of the expansions. His name is Hiroyuki Tani, and they just go by Tani. He just goes by Tani. But he explains some of the designs, the concepts that went into the expansions. And of course, Japanese have this philosophy of whenever they're creating digital art, they still tie it back to some kind of core human philosophy. So I really dug how they explain this. I'll talk about the Isle of Armor, and then Adam, you can talk about the Crown Tundra.
Okay, that's cool. I'm cool with that. I'll just chill over here.
You can chill in the tundra, because that works out. But the Isle of Armor, it focuses on the theme of growth. So this is the philosophical thing that's kind of governing the whole kind of moral outlook of the Isle of Armor. He said you're going to be able to visit beaches, bogs, forests, caves, dunes. There's a dojo for Pokemon battles. And the way the story will work is you will become an apprentice at this dojo. You meet your mentor. Your mentor's name is Mustard, and he's almost like, he's like this older, chill-looking dude. It's fighting,
He's got the best eyebrows.
Dude, he's awesome. He's also Leon's mentor, so it does have some ties back to the main story. You're going to have new rivals, and depending on your version, if you're in Sword, your rival's name will be Clara, who's a poison type user, and if you have Shield, you'll have Avery, which is a psychic type user and has amazing style, super awesome. So they're showing all these different places. They give us a lot. They really do show a lot. And then they give us our legendary. And our legendary is Cub Fu, is a fighting type Pokemon. And we learn that Mustard will give you this Pokemon, and you will train together with Cub Fu. And when your training is complete, Cub Fu, the legendary, can evolve into Urshifu. It can Gigantamax, will have G-Max moves. And this is all just the June 2020 release of Isle of Armor. So all this stuff,
yeah, that's a lot,
is just part 1 of the DLC expansion pass. And then it goes into talking in detail about the Crown Tundra, which is like a whole nother thing.
And so the theme in the Crown Tundra is going to be focused on all about exploration. It's snowy. There's like silvery landscape. It's basically winter. So I hope they bring an evolution of Delibird. Those are just high hopes.
You did it, Adam. But you found a way. You found a way to get Delibird in there.
Well, so Pokemon not normally found in, or not previously found in Galar will be there.
This is a big deal, like a massive deal. And all the hoopla with the Save the National Dex and the fact that all these Pokemon were missing. We, like you said before, man, we learned that 200 additional Pokemon species are coming to the game with the Crown Tundra. That is
so really
insane.
How many are we missing now? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
We're missing like 350.
Yeah, there's only 150 Pokemon. Changed my mind. So then it goes on to say, like, a certain person makes you the lead of an exploration team. And this is like, wait, what? A certain person? So who could that be?
Right. Who's the certain person? They don't tell you.
They don't tell you. But you'll be exploring inside Pokemon dens. There's a new co-op mode. There's new legendary, Calyrex. It's a psychic and grass. It's this.
What do you think of the
giant
design? It's weird.
It's got like a giant brain, and its ears hold it up, and it's got a tiny body. I don't know.
That's a pretty good description, actually.
Yeah, I just
giant brain, tiny body.
If you play Overwatch or no, like it's kind of like it's got like Zenyatta, like it's got those little like the ball things around its neck. So it's, I don't know. I'm indifferent with it. I like Cub Fu. It's a good name.
I like Cub Fu also. Cub Fu's awesome.
I just wish Ursafu evolved into Cub Fu because that sounds better. But I didn't design it, so. But yeah, he's the new legendary, Psychic Grass. Past legendaries were coming back. They start by showing you like Mewtwo, and then like Kyogre, Groudon, and just a bunch of others that you just get so excited about because I'm just like, oh my god, they're coming to it! Like everything that we wanted.
They also show Blastoise and Venusaur.
Yes, and the Blastoise is basically he just has a volcano on his back, which doesn't make sense. There's no cannons. I just see the volcano in the back. And then Venusaur, basically, his leaf basically overgrows all over him. So he's like kind of like emo. He's got his hair like in front of his face.
It's awesome.
Well, not his hair, the flower. And then they like, I don't know. They're just, oh my god. And then they show off the birds. And they all look like they're dark plus their type. Like a dark Moltres. Yes. So fire. So I don't know, but they look dark.
Well, I have a feeling these aren't like dark versions. These are just going to be Galarian versions of legendaries. So maybe, like you would have a Galarian Articuno, Galarian Moltres, you know.
And I think Zapdos looks by far the best because they show him like a Roadrunner almost.
Yeah.
Like short wings, but long
feet. They give us a lot. They show a lot in the trailer. Like they gave up a ton of information. Like it's not very likely, or it's not very, in the style of Pokemon to do this with so much time before this launches. Like this one isn't coming till fall, and we already know so much. We already probably, I'm sure, in the next couple days you'll see like the Nintendo or Pokemon Direct dissected, and they'll say you saw this many new Pokemon in the Crown Tundra cut, and they'll say here's the 40 Pokemon that were mentioned. It's like there's a lot of Pokemon that they show.
Yeah, and even
they said that it's so early that they can't show us everything just because the games are still in development. So there's more.
Yeah, they're like we're working on them right now. Like we literally don't have it completed.
It's insane. It's insane. So those are the two parts. So the expansion pass will give you for $29.99. The expansion pack will give you both the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra. So you get both with one price of entry. It's not even a pre-order. You have to pre-purchase. You can pre-purchase now. If you do, you can get some avatar items, shirts and stuff to show off. That
it's like an Eevee or a Pikachu.
Yeah.
They look like your gym clothes or whatever.
Yeah. So they cut back to Ishihara and they say, okay, Ishihara is going to give us some more details. And I kind of just made a list here of different things we learn about between what Masuda says, what Ishihara says, what Ohmori says, what Tani says, and then what we see because they're showing concept art after frame of concept art, and there's like a lot of imagery on the screen. There's a lot of stuff to break down. Yeah, it's just like image after image. But this is what I came up with, and I'm pretty excited. So it says there will be future game updates to allow compatibility. So even if you don't buy the expansion pass,
you'll be able to trade for those Pokemon.
Exactly. So you'll be able to get that Venusaur traded into your game because you have the update. Now they slip this in under the radar. They're saying, oh yeah, there'll be future updates to, improve the game's compatibility with stuff like Pokemon Home. Oh yeah, by the way, Pokemon Home's coming out February 2020. So we have a month for February for the release. I bet you it'll be like the last day of the month or something. But they don't talk about at all any features of Home, just the fact that whether or not you have the expansion pass, you'll still be able to take these Pokemon and go from like Let's Go into Home and then ultimately into Sword and Shield, if you have the expansion pass or not.
So I can transfer from Pokemon Go my Meltan, then transfer my Meltan to Pokemon Home, and then put Meltan into Shield and Sword?
obviously would have to be part of the dex. So long as Meltan is in the dex, because, when the Crown Tundra comes out and they increase the dex by 200 Pokemon, if Meltan is one of those Pokemon, then yeah, sure.
Awesome. I love it.
Let's see what else here. They showed like an infographic screen saying 3 bits of new gameplay. One called Tutor Moves. Well, we've seen Tutor Moves before. It says Tutor Moves, including all new moves. So new moves coming to the game through tutoring. Apricorns, which can be made into Pokeballs. What is that all about? So will there be some kind of different resource that we can grind or farm to create our own Pokeballs, maybe with their own abilities or own special, features? That would be kind of cool. Or customize the way they look.
Maybe like Curry.
Imagine that.
Maybe
a Pokeball customizer.
Well, maybe like Curry. We make them.
A Pokeball Dex. That'd be awesome.
Just saying. Possibly.
Oh, and then the experience charm. Like, we need another charm in the game, but this will allow you to earn even more experience. Like, if this game doesn't, help you so much to, grind and level your teams, you'll be able to get an experience charm to do that even quicker. There will be version-exclusive Pokemon and NPCs between the two.
Which is awesome, and I love that they're keeping this trend.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. So, when those 200 Pokemon hit in, the Crown Tundra, you're going to have different Pokemon in Sword and Shield. Wild area camera controls. This is what really got me exciting. So they said that these areas are going to be just like the wild area in terms of giving the player complete control, 360-degree camera, all of that. And they say that you're going to be able to find even more Pokemon. There will be raid dens, and that the areas themselves are larger than the wild area.
Oh my goodness.
So that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's exciting, but it's like, oh man, there's so much more.
Just think if you're doing like a raid session with your friends, right? And you guys clear your area of raids, in your normal area. It's like, all right, well, let's jump over to, the Crown Tundra and check for raids there. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much more opportunity for
raids,
longer game sessions and raiding. Yeah, it's super cool. An exceptionally deep character customization mechanic. You can even customize your bike, but different hairstyles, colors, crazy clothing, bags. Like, they really
basically you can get like a haircut like Marnie, and you can get like the chairman's outfit, Marnie's outfit. Like, this is so cool. I'm so happy that they're giving us more new, innovative clothing options.
Yeah, it's deep. It's very deep. Let's see. Oh, then I have some miscellaneous bits here that they kind of threw in at the very end regarding Sword and Shield right now. We saw Delibird, we saw Magikarp come through. Then on the 15th we have ending like the Snorlax and this Sandaconda, Centiskorch, that stuff. But they said starting now, and I've already seen it because I was in game today, Colossal, Lapras, Flapple, and Appleton are now boosted in raids in Sword and Shield right now. There was a software update that went live today, and you do that update, you go to Wedgehurst Station, and depending on your game, if you're in Sword, you'll meet Clara. If you're in Shield, you'll meet Avery, and you meet them there, you get a little interaction, a little FaceTime, start a dialogue, and then you have a Galarian Slowpoke walks into the station at Wedgehurst, and you have the opportunity to catch it, and you can begin breeding it.
Yeah, don't attack it, just throw a Pokeball at it.
Yeah, just catch it. I caught mine in a... I don't even know what I put it in. I don't know.
Well, I just threw a Pokeball. Maybe. I was like, I hope it catches it, because all my Pokemon are level 50 or higher. I was like, one attack is going to knock this thing out.
This is what's exciting about this specific Pokemon. So this is going to be a good one that you can just put in your box and kind of store it there if you don't want to breed it or whatever. When the expansions come out, if you evolve it in the Isle of Armor, it evolves into Slowbro. If you evolve it in the Crown Tundra, it evolves to Slowking. So awesome. So awesome.
And they give us like little tiny quarter screenshots of the Slowking and the Slowbro. So you get
they have its like face blocked out.
Yeah. It's so cool how they did this. Like, who'd have thought like, oh yeah, I really want a Galarian Slowpoke.
It's wild. And I was on YouTube today, because obviously everyone's doing reaction videos and lots of content. And A-Drive, who's, always on the grind, was hatching or breeding the Galarian Slowpoke. And on his 33rd egg, got the shiny. So he, within like 50 minutes of it being released, A-Drive had the shiny Galarian Slowpoke.
Wow.
Which is like bright gold. It's yellow. It's so awesome. He absolutely lost his mind. It was a hilarious video. It was so funny.
You can do the pre-purchase. It's
pre-purchase available today. Oh, if you pre-purchase, you get the unlocks the avatar clothing. And this was kind of interesting. They promote the hashtag Pokemon Sword Shield EX for expansion pass, but I thought that was funny that they'd use EX, both capital letters, because it's kind of the play on
EX raid
TCG.
passes or
exactly.
EX Pokemon.
Yep.
But the fact is that they're going to V and V Max instead of
I know, right?
Like,
so they're not even G Max anymore.
Yeah.
Or GX.
Yep.
So funny. Whew, Adam, that's a lot. I mean, I was not expecting, I was expecting home and sleep. That's what I was expecting. I did not expect anything.
I'm so upset that we didn't get anything about sleep. I was so hoping for that. That's like the one thing I really wanted.
But, I could see them doing that in a small, 6-minute presentation, like that kind of thing. But a lot of information here. I was gassed up. I was amped up. I went back and watched a lot of reaction videos, and everyone is very positive on the move from additional games to DLC. And it's that weird feeling of it's just DLC, but it just feels so real. It feels so right and different just because it's Pokemon.
Well, it's Pokemon.
It's the weirdest thing.
A, they know how to get our money, but B, they're giving us what we want.
Yeah, I may have already pre-purchased.
I mean, I didn't yet. But, I don't know. It just, and as far as update on my game, I beat Opal. I am on my route. I'm on Route 7, I think. I think it's 7. I just beat Hop on the bridge, and then I jumped back to Wedgehurst Station so I could get the Slowpoke. And then I went back to the wild area and just started doing raids.
You're in the home stretch. If you focus on riding it out, you could probably be done in 5-6 hours. So you're almost there. You're almost there. I checked my game clock the other day. I'm at 110 hours right now. It's the most I've played any game in so long. But I've been raiding a lot. I've been doing a ton of raids. I've been playing with patrons and people from Twitter and stuff. So if you want to do any raids, hit me up at PokeProfNet on Twitter. We'll do some raids. We'll link up.
Yeah, I'm just having a blast with the game.
Have you done any battles or anything yet?
No. I still need to trade for a Ditto. I know nothing about breeding. So
the simple rule is this. You have to figure out what you're going to worry about. Are you worried about getting a shiny?
A shiny.
Are you worried about IVs? Do you care about IVs or you just want the shiny?
I just want the shiny.
So if you don't care about IVs, you just want to find yourself a non-English Ditto. And there's tons of trading groups online. There's plenty of people in our Discord that can help us out with that too. And that's what they use called the Masuda method. If you breed with a Ditto or a Pokemon that's from a non-English territory, and the language is different than English, so it'll carry the stamp of that that region, it will greatly increase the odds of hatching a shiny. So play through the game, get your shiny charm, and use the Masuda method by using a foreign Ditto, and that's the best way to.
Okay. But what if I cared about IVs?
So then, if you care about IVs,
you have the 100% Delibird to trade for me. So I don't have to worry about it.
So what you do is you take a Destiny Knot. A Destiny Knot is an item that will guarantee that 5 of the parents' IVs. It'll guarantee that 5 of those IVs will transfer down to the egg, and so then you're really only leaving 1 IV up to chance for it to be the best. So then you have a 1 in 31 chance of hatching a perfect one because there's 31 IV points. So that 5th or that 6th IV category that's not passed down because of the Destiny Knot, that's what you just got to hope for to get the best IV, stat there to get perfect.
Okay, cool.
So you could do that with like perfect IV dittos. You know what I mean? Like there's ways to do it to like increase your chances. But if you're just worried about the shiny, just get a foreign ditto and get the shiny charm. Play through the game.
Okay.
All right, Adam. I think we're ready to take a break. When we come back, we'll watch our episode. But man, that was so much. I'm so excited, and it's always a good time online because whenever there's like something like this, the internet is just buzzing. Everyone's excited and talking and talking smack, talking positive, talking negative. Like there's just a lot of different feelings and emotions flying through the air. So it's a really exciting time. So I'm super hyped. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get our Amazon Prime video queued up and watch our episode, Pokéball Peril. We'll be back right after this. And we are back from our break. Thank you guys so much for that. Got a little bit of housekeeping to run through really quick before we watch our episode. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Please check ours out over at patreon.com/PokemonProfessor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. And that $1 will get you access to our patron-exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. And I want to give a huge shout-out to our show supporter tier patrons. Brittany, Jay, James, Matt, M. Pitts, Terry, David, Chris, Sydney, Bacon L, The Noise, Harry, PokeNavBot, Purple Pancakes, Dem Gears, Be Bangin', Lady Goobly Meat, Go Ranger, Matt, The Phoenix, Baker Boy, Jolt Switch, Alex, The Illustrious Overseer, Jason, Matt from Kentucky, Paul, Justin, Val, Monica, PJ, and Trainer Dex J. Whew, did it. Thank you guys so much for your support. We really do appreciate it. And, they're awesome people, and you guys should be awesome too and join them on patreon.com/PokemonProfessor. But if Patreon isn't your thing, there's still a couple other ways you could help us out. If you're listening on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, hit the like button. If you're listening via a podcast service like Apple Podcasts, you can take a moment to leave us a review. It helps us out a ton. All right, Adam, Pokéball Peril. This is Pokemon the Series episode 81. Original air date, this info coming from Bulbapedia.net. Original air date in Japan, February 4th, 1999, as episode 83. In the U.S., now get this, today is January 9th. This originally aired January 8th in the year 2000. So we're one day off of it being exactly 20 years ago that this episode aired in the States,
Welcome
which is
to
really
the year
cool.
2000.
I know, it's so cool. And, it's currently episode 80 in the Amazon Prime playlist. That's where we're getting our Orange Islands fix through Amazon Prime. It's episode 80. But I think we're ready to start this up. You good to go?
I'm good to go.
All right. Let's start this show in 3, 2, 1, go.
I want to be the very best.
So, I was recapping last week where, they had the ridiculous blimp thing and they flew from, Indigo Plateau to the actual Orange Islands proper. Like all of these episodes in this run, the last 27 episodes, have been part of the Orange Islands arc. But, now that they're on, the island they're on, they're actually in what they call the Orange Islands. This is a little bit different and removed from the Indigo Plateau, which is where, that championship series that Ash placed top 16. So now they're actually on the Orange Islands, and it's like you wonder how big this region actually is. But, last week was like this transition episode coming from, the championships from the Indigo Plateau is over, and now we're in the Orange Islands, and we're starting a new story.
Misty and Brock were on their way to retrieve a
Well, I'm glad that we're here.
Professor Oak,
The pirate ship steering wheel, though.
controls of a ramshackle airship.
Anytime they get the chance to use the word ramshackled, it's good.
With
They had
the
the
help of their Pokemon, our heroes were
three-point
able
landing.
to make an emergency landing. But now, what new challenges await them on Valencia Island?
Oh yeah, Valencia Island. So, yes, they're in the Orange Islands, but specifically Valencia Island. And this is where Oak had sent them to meet up with Ivy. So we go from Oak to Ivy to pick up this super rare Pokeball. That's where we're at now.
We can have fun after we get that Pokeball.
Okay.
Ash has been there 2 seconds already. Wants to slack off.
Where is Professor Ivy's laboratory anyway?
Don't you?
Well, it's not going to be on the top of the hill. Why don't you just walk to the city?
Have to find it.
Pikachu. Hey, look. What's that?
Anybody here?
I wonder
It's
if
like
the
a
Nurse Joyce
jungly
in the Orange
Pokemon
Islands.
Center.
Welcome to the Pokemon Center.
Something's never.
And Thirst.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Are you related to any of the other Nurse Joys?
I'm the second cousin of the sister-in-law of the Joy in
This
Saffron
episode,
City.
Brock
Have
is
you
so
ever been
thirsty.
To Saffron City?
Oh yes, it's beautiful like
It
you
literally,
Looks
I
like
can't
Ash
stand
isn't
it.
the
There's
only
so
one
many,
who needs
like,
to cool down.
an adult made this.
Could you tell us how to get to Professor Ivy's laboratory?
Misty calls him out,
Oh,
though.
it's very easy. You go straight out of the Pokemon Center, make the first left, and it's
I
the
also
big
thought it was
white
interesting,
building
like,
at
when
the
they're
end
like,
of
hey, are you
Bayview
related to
Road.
the other Nurse Joys? You know, and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm the cousin of the sister-in-law. Like, it tells you they're not just all cousins. You know, they're
Yeah.
further removed from that, but they're still the same.
The place looks empty.
So they show up at, you know, what they would think is the lab.
What are you doing here? Who are you?
Who are? And it's funny that you see
Hello
this because
there.
like
We came here to see Professor Ivy.
these look
Yeah,
like
Professor Oak
younger
from Town said
kids,
you
but they
pick up
could pass as
something.
older kids,
If
and
you
it's
want
like
the professor, she's in the
but
back
Brock
working
has
with
no-
the Pokemon.
no attraction.
Right now.
Because you must be this tall.
Yeah.
Oh, Brock. It is very picturesque where they are, though. Except when there's giant Gyarados.
Ooh, like Brock's face though, like
I think you're all looking better and stronger every single day.
Look at that position that Brock is in right now is so great. It's so good. It's such a snapshot of what Brock is in this episode.
Me and friends of Professor Oak are here to see ya.
oh my god, another Gyarados.
Yo, she's so awesome. She's like a superhero.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Professor Ivy.
And in
This is
her
the
look,
best.
she's like so like, hey guys, I'm really chill.
Well,
She's
She's
the
super
professor.
chill, dude. She was just surfing in on a Gyarados. All right, so here's the special ball that Professor Oak sent them for.
Why is it all gold and silver?
we haven't been able
Wait,
to discover the reason.
It's actually an awesome looking
because-
ball.
Is it because of Pokemon Gold and Silver?
Oh, Professor Ivy, it looks like there's some kind of
a
writing
good point.
on it.
If you look closely, you can see the letters GS.
Yes.
So GS
I see it.
was
So,
like Gary
we decided
Oak.
to
No.
call it a GS ball.
GS ball.
The
We
GS
heard you
ball.
can't
The
transport
GameStop
it.
It's like
ball.
what?
True.
It's a GameStop
Sounds
ball.
right.
So
Would you
know,
demonstrate
through
the
the-
electric current that has to go through the Pokeball to make it disappear?
well, that's what I'm saying. Like through
Even
the
Pikachu's good.
year of 81 episodes, we've only seen the transfer machine like a couple times.
We've tried buzzsaws,
But that's like a
hammers,
ridiculous machine.
crowbars, hacksaws, power drills, and lasers.
They use
We've
lasers.
tried everything, but this Pokeball has a stump. I wish
Pikachu's
I
got
could
an
learn
idea.
some of the secrets of this Pokeball myself, but if
Yeah, the
anyone
way-
can
the
solve
way
this
they
mystery,
draw
well,
Ivy,
Professor
dude.
Oak can.
No, and they put an emphasis on
Here
like
it is,
I
Ash.
know.
Make sure you
on
get it to him
certain
safely.
parts, and it's like normally that's like gone away, but it's like prevalent.
Yo, what's up with the Magikarp hooked up to all the diodes?
Yeah, like what's he studying about the Magikarp? You can't eat it.
Yep, he's still
Professor.
not doing anything.
Hello, remember me?
Oh, Ash, are you there already?
Yep, and Professor
He's like
So-
so surprised. Like, how did you fly there already?
I know, like you actually got there.
It's the GS ball.
Yeah, and then Ash is showing the professor the GS ball, but like, and he acts so
Professor
surprised,
Ivy.
and it's like,
It's good to talk to you,
didn't
Professor Oak.
Professor Ivy already show it to
I
you?
recently read
You
your
like, that's the whole
preliminary
reason you went to go
report
get
in
it?
Pokemon Researchers Monthly on Pokemon adaptive
Dude,
variation
before
as
you
a
know it, you're
function
going to
of
be
regional
upset that Ash's
distribution,
hat is
and I found it
backwards.
quite
Just
Well, no, what? Who stands
ride-
like that?
ride
his
it
hands,
out.
His hands are over, like behind his head, just like chilling out.
He, like, they're not afraid to show that they're all like completely enamored by
I
Ivy.
hope you can solve the mystery of this Pokeball, Professor.
Well,
But
I'll
she's
see what
so
I can do.
chill.
We'll see you soon, Professor Oak.
All right, Ash. Take care and thank you. How terribly exciting.
He does like a little jig, and I'm like, I don't know why Professor Oak
Oak
does
is
like a
weird,
little.
man.
Yeah, it was so weird.
It's ruined.
Cuts to Team Rocket
Totally
staring
wrecked.
at the broken blimp.
Well, they thought that this was going to be their big break. This was going to be their one opportunity to impress the boss.
And the boss is going to hate us again.
They're such crybabies.
Quit blubbering and let's get to work and fix this thing!
But Jesse,
Jesse's
I don't
already
know
got
Leave it up to
ideas.
Jesse to be like, let's get this done.
Won't work.
No, I was...
Have you forgotten that the twerp and his friends are supposed to make a round trip?
And like you see
Yeah.
this blimp, and it is like in half.
That means we get a
The whole
second
thing is
shot to
torn
grab
apart. There's
Pikachu.
no
the whole thing's
There's no
buckled.
fixing that.
Let's get to work and rebuild the
Meowth's got a net.
The spirit.
Jesse's got a wrench.
Dude, you
And
know how
James,
fast they could
out
dig
of nowhere,
holes? Just
comes-
think of what they could do to a blimp.
And James just runs by, you know, does this maniacal laugh with a giant cartoon
Yes,
hammer.
we need all this space for all the Pokemon. We breed and study so many of them.
There's
We
your
breed
boy,
so many
yo.
of them.
Just look at all these gigantic flowers.
So this was really cool.
Buy a
You know, and obviously rewatching this show
It's a vile plume.
before we recorded, but
Yeah, but
I had totally
looks a
forgot
little
about this
different
part.
from the vile
Yeah, this is like
Where-
Galarian forms.
Yeah, because they're not shiny, but they're just,
It's time for
you know,
Different shades.
geographical
I guess you make
variation.
the food yourself.
Yes, we've created recipes for each type of Pokemon.
Yeah, because the Paris, the
looking
Vile
different.
form,
Hey, look.
and like
So
the
the Leaping
Raticate
Bell's all
technically
dark.
look shiny.
Different than they usually do.
Yeah, you're right.
Why is that, Professor?
If you stop and think
And
about
Weeping
it,
It's
Bell
almost
looks
like
like
shiny.
all kinds of yellow shiny.
Dude, look at her.
Look at Brock.
It's so funny.
This island's
It's
tropical
so funny.
climate
See, even
is
their
very
colors are a little
different
different.
from the one where you live. Naturally, the different environment creates differences.
She
in
is
the
so
Pokemon
chill,
that we've
man.
raised
She's
here.
eating some of that food
I'm
too, I
now
think,
collecting
from the
data
ground,
and
man.
studying how environment causes
Look at Ash,
variation
he's in his
all
pose
our
again.
Pokemon.
You don't mean you bred and raised all the Pokemon on this island, do you?
Yes, I dedicated.
Yes.
myself to them and I
The
couldn't be
turn,
happier.
the turn. It's like not only now is
In,
he
in
like,
this,
you know,
the children or whatever are feeding the Gyarados. They throw like particles into the water, and Gyarados like flies up. Gyarados' mouth is the size of like 100 bowls of food.
it's like a school bus.
Professor, I'd love to
Look,
First,
now,
Ash
now
is standing
Misty's
like that.
in the position.
Misty's,
What
Misty's
the
got
heck?
her hands behind her head, like.
Tropical islands on Pikachu. What? Pikachu? That's not yours.
Oh.
put that back.
Gosh, there's a whole cart full. There's plenty, Misty. Why?
It's
You
still,
need to
it's
be
not
chill.
theirs.
We've
Oh.
got to think of.
That's
something.
awesome looking Butterfree though.
Orange Island form
That little
Butterfree.
Butterfree hasn't
Yeah.
eaten a thing in days.
Valencia
The different nutrients
form.
haven't worked.
No, and we've tried 5 combinations.
No, we're all scientists and we've tried everything.
The
Brock over the
ingredients
shoulder
include
peeks
all
at her
the
notes.
essential nutrients. I just don't understand.
He's just trying to
Sniffs
smell
it.
her hair. He's so weird.
Oh my goodness, his face while he's trying to chew.
I
this
know, it's like the
piece of
weirdest
food is like-
drawing.
yeah.
I've got it. I'll be right back.
He's got to show off, yo.
Where
It's his
did he go?
opportunity to shine.
What are you doing?
I found out
And
that when a
everybody's, like,
Pokemon
hovering
decides
over
to
him.
eat something,
He's
the
sitting
most
Indian
important thing
style,
isn't
mixing
how nutritious the food is.
some
They care about the
stuff.
taste. Pokemon like food that tastes good to them.
Well,
You see,
flavor
he's
is a
waxing
factor.
intellectual
But
about
how can
food.
you determine what flavors each Pokemon likes?
Only from experience. Okay, ready? Let's see
There
what
you
He
go.
like sprinkles,
See if it
literal,
works.
literal
Little
sprinkles
little confetti
on
on
the
it.
food. Yeah. Oh, and there's Butterfree.
What
simply amazing.
Wow,
I
that's
noticed that
simply
birds
See?
like sweet
amazing.
things, so if you just add some mashed up berries to their food, they'll eat it
There
up
you
every
go.
time.
Just add the berries, man.
I'm embarrassed to call myself a Pokemon researcher when you're
You
the
should
one who
be,
seems
Ivy.
to know a lot
I'm just
more
kidding.
about Pokemon feeding habits.
Brock knows tons of stuff about Pokemon, Professor. He's gonna be the
Yeah,
world's
blow him up.
breeder.
Blow up his head.
A breeder.
Will you teach us all the different flavors of Pokemon like in their food?
Another
Please,
innuendo
please,
joke.
please. Hey, come on, you guys. We have to decide who gets stuck cooking dinner tonight.
Is she doing patty cake?
Cooking?
Cooking?
I love that.
I love how they left this. Cooking?
I know.
It's Gigantamax Lapras! Oh no, it's just a plain old Lapras.
I still haven't seen Gigantamax Lapras.
Oh my god, it cuts to the kitchen.
Nice place.
The entire place is just trash
We just got
bags.
so wrapped
and
up in our
dishes
Pokemon
and
research that
junk.
we stopped cleaning the house and started calling it.
Our little dump.
Our
Our
little
little
dump.
dump.
Yeah, it's so charming.
Hey, Brock.
And
Clothes to be
Brock's
swept,
so
clothes
angry.
to be washed, cooking, mopping, polishing, cleaning.
He gets his apron on, grabs
Yo,
his sponge.
he's ready.
Vacuum.
He's waited 81 episodes.
Super Brock.
He washes dishes like a madman.
Dude, but the frilled apron.
I hope he's washing his hands in between this, because he's like scrubbing me with this, like this,
Brock is a great
from the
chairs.
food to the polish.
vacuuming, and then going back to the food.
He's a good cook. And he works for free.
See, Ash knows what's up. He works for free.
And in 5
Let's
minutes,
say
they have
Brock.
a couch and an entire dinner table.
I love it.
The Pokemon eat quieter than they do.
Isn't even any Pokemon in the room. Except theirs. So they
Brock,
live,
they're just like-
research all
it's
these
just like
Pokemon.
home.
Where are they? Oh, so
For some
cute.
reason, I really like it when like Misty's hair's down.
I know,
like,
I know.
Are you getting this?
Yes, it's all on tape.
Oh, and the scientists never sleep.
Brock, I thought you'd be
She's got like an old
I
like
thought you
16
might like
millimeter
a
camera.
midnight snack.
Have fun.
Brought
My
some
name's Brock, and I
Masadas.
just
What
thought
are
you
you
wanted a
doing
snack.
here?
We're beginning a new study of the Vileplume. They're nocturnal Pokemon, and at night they all come out to spray their pollen to prevent other Pokemon.
But we
They
just
don't-
saw a Vileplume in the middle of the day.
Oh no, here comes Eradicate.
Yeah, but that was the day that morning person.
And basically, their pollen is supposed to ward off other Pokemon
Professor.
because they mark their territory. But Raticate walks into it and almost
it
dies.
tracks the Raticate.
Save the Raticate.
Oh, she's such a good
Contact the
trainer.
Pokemon Center immediately.
Yes, ma'am.
You think that they would have some? Look at Misty's hair. You would think that they would have some gas masks.
Professor Ivy, you should know how dangerous it is to jump out in front of Vileplume when they're spraying their pollen like that.
Oh, Nurse Joy makes it all better.
The Raticate.
Because you got it away
She
from
has
the pollen
the-
so
she had the
fast,
blanket
it'll
on
be
her.
just fine.
Yep.
The blanket's gone.
We were so worried.
Oh, Adam's always looking for it.
Please don't do something.
I think
I'm
on
critical.
Bulbapedia, like at the bottom of the page on Bulbapedia, on all these show entry pages,
I'll try
it'll
to
show you all the errors. Like it'll tell you like, in this scene this is red, and they cut back to it, it's blue.
Well, we gotta go, Professor.
We have to get the GS
Well, I
file
don't
to
ever read
Professor
that,
Oak.
okay?
Well, come and visit anytime.
Well, come and visit
Hey,
anytime,
where's
guys.
Brock?
I haven't seen him.
So,
Misty.
all right, we got to talk about this part.
Onyx?
So,
Move it, guys.
Brock is on a mission. We see him using his Pokemon to help out. That's totally fine. He's doing the worst roof repair job I've ever seen right here, but it's fine.
He
He's
just
doing
took a piece of wood and just stuck it over it. The water's gonna pool.
Yeah, it'll be
on
fine.
top of that.
That's wonderful, Brock.
He's great. It's like we were adrift at sea until Brock came along.
Man, Brock is, they're blowing his head up.
Are you really staying here?
So, this is,
Ship needs a captain.
like, I get it,
I love how
dude,
Zubat just flew by.
If I
but
stay here, I'll
this
get to
is
learn
now
more and
the
more about
third
Pokemon
time
every day.
that Brock has kind
These
of
guys may need me a lot
led
more
on
than
to
you guys do.
leaving the
Wanting
group.
to depart. Yeah.
Yeah, to stick around for some girl. Like, that's messed up, Brock.
I guess this is goodbye.
They just let him go. They're just like, all right, cool, see ya.
He's like, she's not weirded out by me. I'm gonna go for it.
She likes my malasadas.
I'm gonna ask her for a kiss.
Make sure you don't forget me, will ya?
Don't forget.
Oh, dude, like, I'm watching this and I go, I can't believe this is happening. Like, they just, like, that's it? Really?
And they're so, like, okay with it. They're just like, psh,
That's what I mean. They're just like, all right, later.
like, we didn't just crash in a blimp and land here. And you're the adult. How are we gonna survive?
So messed up.
Just two 10-year-olds walking on a tropical island. No big deal.
How are we gonna get back?
How are we gonna get back? We have
Yeah,
no
exactly.
money.
Now it comes to light as they're walking back to their destroyed blimp.
Yeah, the food was bad and they didn't show a movie.
Yeah. Not
Pig,
that it was actually Team Rocket and they crashed the blimp that you were on.
Yo, that blimp looks awesome.
Yeah, they arrive and it looks better than the last time.
Flight 001, the maiden voyage of the most
They got
incredible
new
dirigible to ever
outfits
sail the
too.
skies.
Are you sure it's safe?
They had them
What do you want to
sent,
be forever?
you know, priority from the blimp brigade. It was a rush shipment of sheet metal.
Prepare for takeoff.
See, and that would have been so good to just lead into prepare for trouble. Prepare for takeoff. Lift off.
Yo, why is, like, whose Pokemon is Jigglypuff? Like, is it just totally rogue?
It's totally rogue. And
So awesome.
surprise. Random Jigglypuff.
Where's our food?
We're hungry here.
It's a good thing that Brock didn't come. There isn't a seat for him.
Right? No, he would have had Pikachu seat.
What is this?
It's such an amazing, like, Team Rocket thing to do. Like, an old school, like, stereotypical cage just falls down over them.
But the thing is, wouldn't they have looked up? Wouldn't they have seen it
Nope.
just dangling?
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
He's almost dabbing.
Reach to the stars above.
Jesse. Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of light.
It's a good motto.
Surrender now or
They got it off.
fight.
Meowth in flight.
Meowth in flight. That was a good one, Meowth.
Why can't you clowns just leave us alone?
We'll leave you alone.
Pikachu, you could
when-
totally, like, look at the how wide those bars are, man. See, now I'm getting like Adam. Like,
Yeah,
you could just
Ash could
turn
just-
sideways and walk
yeah.
right through.
Pikachu just slipped right through.
We've accidentally captured a pair
So
of
can
very
Ash.
romantic creatures in our little cave.
And this is awesome because they pull the hey, you guys are actually like boyfriend girlfriend, and they're like, oh no.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy as
But
blush.
They get the embarrassed face because
But you're blushing.
they do
They
like
know what's
each
up.
other.
Yeah, even they call him out on it, too.
It's not true! Pikachu, use your thunderbolt!
He's about to go, too.
This blimp is a giant flying inflammable gas tank.
So why is it a flammable gas tank? So it went from being a,
We'll all go peek
you know,
boom.
like, not that last time, then now they've upgraded to
Romeo,
a hydrogen
over that Pikachu.
based, you know,
Let's go.
Well,
filled
listen,
with helium.
this ending has got
It's
to
bizarre.
be one of the best.
It's awesome.
Like the biggest cliffhanger.
Well, this is now
wiggly.
3 episodes in a row that Jigglypuff has had these weird cameos that have come through and kind of changed the course of the whole show.
Hurry, parachutes.
We were doing
They-
so well.
It's like they prepared for it. They just get pulled out.
They're just sleeping but falling into the water. That is not a good combination.
See, but they won't wake up because of the water, right? Because it's a magic that's making them sleep. So they'll just drown. They'll be smothered by the parachute, too. So this is now the
But this
second
was such
time
a
in one trip that there's no one flying the blimp.
While our friends have drifted into dreamland, they're also drifting into danger. Where will their giant
Oh, it's so
airship
intense.
take them?
and yeah, it just
will they
ends and it's like
survive?
I want to know if
over
they're
the
gonna
ocean.
survive. I
Next
want to
time.
know. Can we let's just do the next episode. Let's just keep it going.
So this was a way better episode than last week for sure.
I totally agree.
No real Pokemon battles, but it didn't even matter too much because so much happened, but it's just like, Brock, what?
Yeah, Brock left. The giant, most crazy cliffhanger that's going on.
I don't know. I can dig it. I think it was a definite bounce back in the right direction from last week, because
and Professor Ivy was very awkward, to say the least.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on there that you could tell is
something
not
something was going on with the Vileplume pollen. She dove in there for a reason, okay?
All right, guys. The Crickle Crackle. I've got a Cosmic Eclipse here.
I've got a Unified Minds.
All right, it's a green code card. Is this 4? I think it's 4. Yep. All right. I'm going first. Water Energy, Tangrowth, Lily's Full Force, Clay, Whalmer, Palpitoad, Kricketot, Apom, Woobat. My reverse is a Groudon, and my rare, a non-hollow Golurk. Press F to pay respects. All right. So there's a lot of good cards in Unified Minds too.
I am getting rid of the crinkles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. Okay. I've got a Grass Energy, a Breloom, a Dark City. Man, I was looking for one of those. Musharna, a Sawaddle, a Marini, a Litwick, a Cubone, a Yanma. My reverse hollow is a Tauros, and I have a hollow Yveltal.
All right. Well, you got a hollow, at least.
Yeah, I don't have this
you got
one,
a hologram.
So that's cool. It's not
Take
very
it.
good, though. like the attack and everything. Blow through 20. If there's a stadium card in play, it does 20 more damage. Like, what? That's not good. Shadow Impact, 120. Put 3 damage counters on one of your Pokemon. Again, not good. Come on.
Well, we'll just have to wait till next week. I've got a handful more of Cosmic Eclipse, so I'll be on the Cosmic Eclipse tip for the next couple weeks, unless I pick something up special. But I've been seeing some Targets kind of restocked with older Elite Trainer boxes, so maybe they had like a redistribution. So I think my local Target has a couple Shining Legends, so I might pick up another one of those. But Adam, we did it. That was a show.
We have done it.
We have absolutely done it. Thank you guys so much for checking out the show. Please email us, info@gottawatchemall.com. You can leave us a voicemail, text, or picture at 732-835-8639. Check out everything that's going on with the show at gottawatchemall.com and everything on the channel at pokemonprofessor.com. And you can get our full feed on our website, links to our social, all that good stuff, and learn about all our other shows, Lured Up, Special Conditions, and all that. So, guys, remember, if you're not out there catching them all, hang out with us and watch them all. We'll see you next week.